Okay. So, okay, so we're here and you've put everything in ZenList and you're ready to schedule. You know the times that you have from my schedule. So, like yesterday I told you, between 1 and 3 or something like that. So, okay, we can do this at 1, this at 1:30. Oops. This at 1, this at 1:30, this at 2. Perfect. So, you would go here and you've already made sure like to optimize, click the optimization. So you just want to make sure that you've identified which ones, like which two are like the closest or furthest away from each other, which would be these two, and put those first and last, and then you can click the optimize button, which it has already done. So perfect. And then so A is the first one. So you click on the instructions over here. And this one is showing time, which is great. So you did it exactly. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, shoot. Okay. Hmm. Interesting. That's weird. Maybe just give it a little bit of time. Give it like a minute or two and see if that is the problem. And if not, next time, we'll switch right now after I'm done and I'll watch you try it and see what happens. Um, but for now, I mean, for example, this is already optimized. Um, let me see here if I'm trying to see. Can I collect? Okay. So you see this here, this expand button, collapse button. Do you see where I'm pointing? Okay. So if you click that, like for example, I didn't see these move buttons until I collapsed it. They should have been there. But you can move that if you don't see these. So, let's say for example, this is how it looks when you first put them into all the tours. Um, it makes a lot more sense to start here and end here. So I would want to um, it's not going to work as well because there's only 3, but um, I would want to move this one to here. And then, usually there's like a bunch more, but as long as I have the first and the last, which are furthest away from each other, and then I click optimize, then everything in the middle would organize itself according. But there's only one in the middle of these two anyways, so they're already in order. I mean, if I went like this, yeah, no matter what, it's not going to matter because you only have 3 here. I could probably show you an example in like an older one. Let's see if I go here, for example. I'm afraid she's going to get a notification of this though. Ugh, I don't want to mess up her notification, so I won't do that. So anyways, I'll let you give it a try though. And see if there's a reason it's not working. It might have honestly been just because it's already optimized, but just want to make sure this is the first and this is the last and it's not here. So we want to switch those. And then once you have the first and the last in position, then you can click optimize and everything else in the middle will get in order. So you do manually have to put the first one and the last one in order, I think. Anyways, let's see if I move this and this. Let's see what happens. And then if I click optimize. Yeah, so you have to put the first and the last one, like where you want to start and end. You have to manually put those in the first and the last position. And then you can press optimize and everything else in the middle will organize according to those two. So, but with only 3, it's really not going to work because as soon as you move one, then they're in order. So anyways, if there were 4, this would make probably more sense. So anyways, once you have them in order, you've optimized it, you're ready to schedule, and you know, for example, A is going to be at 1 p.m., then you can click here. And this one is showing assist, which is great. So you click schedule showing time, you click schedule a single showing, and then where it says 1 p.m., you click here. Appointment type is showing. Sometimes it'll ask you for these options. So you click showing. Sometimes it'll also ask you like agent type or something, and that's not an option here. But if that's ever a question, you just put like buyer's agent. So just so you know, you don't have to change anything else. These showings are always 15 minutes. And then you would click request appointment. And I'm not going to click it because, you know, we've already scheduled these. I ended up having to move these, but that was really easy for me to do once you've already scheduled everything. So that's why they're showing up earlier now. But so yeah, you did it perfectly right. So then once you've scheduled that, and that will go automatically to my calendar, which is great. So then you would click the next one. And again, it says use showing assist. And you'd click schedule a single showing. And then you'd find 1:30 on Thursday. Click. Okay, showing 15 minutes. Great. And then you click request appointment. And then that window would come up and you can just close it. Once you wait until it says like the request has been received, and then you can close it. Only takes, you know, a few seconds. And then you click this one. Okay. So even though it says this whole like, you know, text, whatever, it actually says use showing time. So again, you'd click schedule a single showing, and then we'd click 2 o'clock, request, and then close it. So is the whole situation on showing time. And when you schedule those, it automatically goes to my calendar, which is awesome. So you don't even have to invite me. Now there's also a possibility that in the showing instructions, it could say, you know, text Keating for further details, or, you know, text this number to schedule a showing, or email this email to schedule a showing. So that's another thing I wanted to talk about today. So let's say, for example, this address in the instructions, it said text this number to schedule a showing. Or call this number to schedule a showing. Then if it's a text, then I would copy this number. And you can use your Google number for this. You don't have to use my number. But let's say you're using your Google number, then text them, and then also include me on that text, because that way I can see, you know, the chain of it. It's really helpful. So you can text them, you can put me in the thread, and you can just say something like, hi, this is Shane Leones, the assistant for Nikki Kofkin with At Properties. We would like to request a showing of, and then we go back. And this is for 5109 Keating. Okay. Of 5109 Keating on Thursday, February 6th at, I think this was at 2 p.m. And then I would send that. So that's how you would request a showing over text. And then let's say, for example, it was the instruction said to email for a showing. I don't know if it's going to work the same on your email if you just click this, but you should be able to click this and it should open up your email, hopefully. And then it'll basically like draft the email for you. And then you can CC me. And then you could always like change this a little bit and be like, this is Shane Leonis, the assistant for Nikki Kofkin at Properties. And then you would need to change, check the date is right. That's correct. Maybe even add the actual day of the week, Thursday, February 6th at 2 p.m. And then you could send it off. If for some reason it doesn't automatically open when you click this, then you would just have to copy the email, go to your email, paste it, CC me. And then in the subject, put showing request for 5109 Keating. And then you would just say pretty much the same as that text that I wrote. Hi there, this is the assistant for Nikki Kofkin with at Properties, or this is Shane Leonis. We would like to schedule a showing at 5109 Keating on Thursday, February 6th at 2 p.m. So that's how you would just do that manually. And then the last way that you might have to schedule a showing is if it says to call them. And then you could, again, just use your Google Voice number, call the number, basically just say this, and just have, just talk to them. Basically, like you would talk about setting up any other kind of appointment. And then, whatever you hear from that call, just send me a message, in Shanty, hey, Nikki, just talked to, X about 5109 Keating and requested to show on Friday or Thursday at 2 p.m. We'll let you know when it's confirmed. And then, if you are requesting showings by text, call, or email, those are not going to automatically go into my calendar. So I would need you to send me a calendar invite. So you'd go into your calendar, create a calendar invite. And the way that I like to do it is, let's say you were putting this in your calendar. When I have a showing that I've requested, I like to keep it organized by putting either R next to the address. So 5109 Keating, I'll put the full address here. So R for request, 5109 Keating Avenue. You can put the address in the invitation. And then any notes, like maybe the listing agent's phone number and name. And then once you hear back from the agent that it's confirmed and we can, do that, any instructions for the showing, like how am I getting access? Am I meeting an agent? Is there a lockbox? Another thing that comes up sometimes is if it is a Sentry lockbox, and you would see this in the ShowingTime confirmation. I'll show you this. Can I get a 1-day code from the listing agent? And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So basically, in the notes, just how I can get in contact with the agent and any instructions about how to get into the property and who's showing it, me or, am I by myself or is somebody meeting me there? And once it's confirmed, I just change this to a C. So I know that it's gone from requested to confirmed. So R for requested, C for confirmed. And then, if it's at 2 o'clock, then I do that and I just make it for 15 minutes or 30 minutes, either way. And that's how I put these into my calendar. So then you would do this on your end and then just invite me at my email address. So does that all make sense? Does that help? Oh, sorry, wait. Say that again? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. So it didn't work, like, it didn't give you, like, it didn't write the email for you pretty much? Oh, okay. Okay, so then you can just use the example in the video that I just showed you and just do it manually. Um, so that Sentry lock that I was just talking about, let me show you what that means. I'm just gonna pull up ShowingTime really quick. So this is that application. So one thing that would be really great, when I'm getting these appointments confirmed is, if you can also maybe if you're scheduling these before the end of the day, just like go through and look at the confirmations, because it would be super helpful. For example, let me see what was I have requested. I can remember yesterday specifically. Let me think about this for a second. Is this one? No. Hold on. One second. Hmm. Um, let me see. 3620. It's weird. Mm, it wasn't that. This one. Ugh. I'm trying to figure out how to show you this. Give me a second. I might be able to show you by taking a screenshot. I think it's not showing me because it's already been completed. Let me see if I can find an email about this. Here we go. Okay, this is the email I got yesterday. Okay. So, you know, if you go on ShowingTime and, for example, this is the confirmation of one of the appointments on Thursday, and you can see the access information about like how I'm going to get in. There's only one time that things get a little bit tricky for me to get inside these properties, and it's when there's this lockbox called a Sentry lock. And this, one of the properties yesterday had it. If you happen to think about this, I would love it at the end of the day if you've scheduled these showings and you see that they're confirmed and you can go back into ShowingTime from the MLS. You know, you go here, tools, you know, you click ShowingTime and then it opens up. And then you can click the calendar and see, you know, what's upcoming, what's requested, what's confirmed. And you can see like what the instructions are on the requested showings. So here you can see meet you there. And then, and like for these, again, this goes right to my calendar. So you don't have to like do anything with these. But the one tricky thing is when, if one of these had this Sentry lock, it'll say if access code is needed, contact a listing representative. So in this case, I have to reach out to the listing agent and they have to give me a code. And sometimes I forget to check that. And then I get to the property and I haven't asked them for a code and then I can't reach them. And then I'm so stressed. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I can't believe I forgot to do this. So it'd be so awesome if you could help me try and remember to do that. So if you see, if you go back in, you know, after you've scheduled things, to check the notes, and if you see Sentry lock, that means I need a code. So in that case, you would see the listing agent's information. So you'd see their information down here. So you would have her information. So this says mobile phone. So you can get her phone number here. Oh, it's not going to let me copy that easily, is it? There we go. You can go into text messages. And then again, you can copy me. And then you can say hi there. This is Shane Yones, the assistant for Nikki Kaufman with @properties. Could you please provide a 1-day code for, and then just copy the address, but you'd be here in ShowingTime. So the address would be like up here. And then you would send that. So that's just how I would get a 1-day code for a property. So obviously I was showing it through my email. That's just because it already happened. So it's not going to be in ShowingTime, but it would look like this. It would say it here, you know, Sentry lock, contact agent for 1-day code. It might not even say contact agent for 1-day code. It could just say Sentry lock. If it's Sentry lock, I can't get in unless they give me a 1-day code. So if it says Sentry lock, then we need to message them and ask for a 1-day code. So the annoying thing sometimes in ShowingTime is it'll show you 2 numbers. I can tell pretty quickly which number is their cell phone just because I kind of know the way numbers look here. And like, also like I can see that this number and this number are the same. So in my head, I'm like, okay, this is their company number. This isn't her cell phone number. So I'm just kind of like using like deduction. Like if this number and this number are the same for 2 people, that's just a generic company number. So this has to be this person's cell phone number. So that might not work. You might end up having to like look their name up if you're not sure. Like if you look up, you know, this agent, Joan Curris cell phone, number. There it is right there. Her phone number just came up. So, yeah, so if you run into that trouble where you're like, oh gosh, I don't know which number, you could also, I would just use a few different methods to try and figure it out before asking me. You could try forewarn. Usually if you use that forewarn app and you put their name in, it will tell you their phone number. Oh, and look, the phone number is also there. But so it was nice that in this email here, it actually said like, this is her cell phone, but sometimes it doesn't do that. So yeah, that is, I think, a pretty thorough information on showings. So do you have questions?
Yeah.
If there's no notes at all, then if you schedule a showing and let's say there's just absolutely nothing here, nothing here, then I have no idea what to do. So I would send them a message. You can actually even send a message in here. You don't even have to text them. Like you could click send a message and say, hi, this is the assistant for Nikki Kofkin. Can you please give us the access instructions? Or can you please give us a 1-day code? Yeah, so this is even simpler. If you want, you could send a message straight from in here, because they should get a notification about that. But yeah, normally there should be some kind of information here where it says access information or here showing instructions, that tells me like how I can get inside the property. So it should tell me like there's some kind of combination or an agent will meet me. But like the one complicated piece is if it says Sentry lock, because that takes another step because I need them to like give me a code still, because the Sentry lock isn't just like a normal box with a combination. Like it's a little more complicated, so it's very annoying. So yeah, good question. Any other questions? Okay, great. Perfect. Yeah, and great job figuring that out earlier. Sorry, I was just not home at all earlier. So, yeah, I think we can just kind of call it a day if you want to just keep reviewing, if you want to re-review this, or if you want to take any like notes to add to like, Google Doc notes or anything, just to kind of like familiarize yourself with this. This will be super helpful for me. So yeah, cool. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much. And yeah, you could just do that for the rest of the day and then I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Go ahead and do that. And you can send that to me too before the end of the day too. Cool. All right. See you later. Have a good one. Bye.